What is up, Sheepdog Nation? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Sheepdog Nation with your host, me, Autumn Clifford. I'm really excited to have you here tonight or today, whenever you listen to this. Today's episode is going to be about. Actually, I'm going to tell you where it comes from, and then I'll tell you what it's going to be about. It comes from my DM on Instagram. I got asked a very good question, and I shared it. I shared the question with my Facebook group called Sheepdogs Unite, and the feedback from another officer. He works down in Miami. So shout out to Nick. He is our fellow sheepdog. He's a badass. Anyways, he and I were having a good conversation about just is it ethical? Not is it ethical, but the question came in is we have somebody who is going to school to become a police officer, and she's in a class. It's an ethics class, and she's currently surrounded by a bunch of people who want to become attorneys. And but she wants to become a police officer, and she said, she messaged me, she's like, can I ask you this question? And I said, yeah, sure, what's up? And she said, why would somebody want to be a police officer nowadays? Because it just seems like everything that a cop does, it gets jammed right up their ass, and I'm kind of scared about it. And so that's what today's topic is going to be about. I'm gonna reply to her, and I want to talk to you about it as well, because I there's a few things that I need to bring up to you, and whether you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear about it. Come right onto my Instagram and let me know. But just to dive right into this, so here's my answer. And if you're brand new to me, this is going to be a really good time for you to turn this down, because I'm going to swear and I don't want to offend the people around you. If you have children on, put headphones on. If you have children around, put headphones on, please. Also be advised that I'm gonna bring the heat, like I always do. And if you have not yet, please go and rate this podcast. You can do it right on iTunes. That would be fantastic. If you can rate it, leave us a review, and also share this out. Share this with somebody on your Instagram, go on Facebook, whatever, your medium is that you love to hang out on. Please go and share this out, so we can spread the word from more sheepdogs to just know that they're supported, and that there's a podcast, and that there's actually somebody who has their back. I want them to know that. And so, okay, so let's dive right on in. So here's my answer. Okay, so if you don't know, I'm a medically retired police officer. I've been a police officer since I've been 20 years old. When I between 26 and 27, I got told I had to medically retire. I had an injury, a back injury, from the job. And so I had to get done. And it was a really hard thing. Obviously, we've talked about this. But within those 6 to 7 years, I've had a lot of experience as the pressures of what it is like to be a law enforcement officer. Now, how I describe it is kind of like being in an incubator. Okay. The pressures from the admin, the pressures from, your supervisors and all that shit, they seem to like push down on you. Right. And then you've got the pressures from like the media and the public and all of these people and all of these things who really don't have a fucking clue what it's like to do your job, but they're just so quick to judge you, and they're so quick to, throw negative connotations around your name and whatever actions you have taken. I feel like those pressures are like the ones that are rising, and then the ones from the top down, and they're coming down. And so like you're in the middle, and then you have all this pressure and all this tension and all this shit from the people that you work with, from the other, unfortunately, other men and women in law enforcement or first responders. And we have to deal with all of this shit, plus all the stuff from like our families, because we're humans too, and we have these lives that we fucking deal with. And I'm going to be honest with you, as a cop, man, geez, it's so fucking easy to like look at your spouse who's freaking out over a dirty house, and you look at them and you're like, are you fucking kidding with me right now? Like, seriously, are you joking? This is bullshit. You are bullshit. I'm going to work. I'm going to not be around you because you're pissing me off. And then we do that how many times? A lot of times. But how many times do we do it before it compounds enough to when our spouse is like, you know what? Fuck you, I'm done. All right. And that's another pressure that like we have to deal with. And so here's your like little hint of advice. Don't do that. Listen to your spouse, and what they're freaking out about may not be huge in like your life, but in their life it's big, and you got to listen to them. Okay, sheepdog, you've got to listen to them because that's part of being a human. And we forget sometimes how to be human, but make sure you listen to them. Okay. So, we have this like incubator. And so the question comes back to like, why would you want to be a cop? Well, the answer is this. The job is the job. Okay. What's changed now is like, we're always on camera. We're always on video. Maybe that's what's changed. Okay. If you're a female, you're going into a man's world. There's more of women coming into this line of work that ever has been. Maybe that could be a change. Obviously, there's new techniques and new practices and all this shit. But I think, the fundamentals, I think the policies and the practices have always been the same. We're receiving a lot more scrutiny right now than we ever have. But the best thing and to fall back on is, should you be a cop or, whatever, even if you are a cop and you're listening to this. But the question is, should you be a cop? The best way for you to for me to like describe this to you is you become a cop because for very specific reasons. And it should never to be because I want to go fucking put bad guys in jail, because I want to drive really fast, because I want to shoot guns, because I want to shoot people. It should never be that. You hear a lot of cops joke around and say, oh yeah, I fucking like to shoot guns, so I became a cop. Or, I like to drive really fast, so I became a cop. And that's just them being funny. It better be. Because that's not what's going to make you a good cop. And that's not what's going to get you through those really hard as fuck days. And sometimes they're hard as fuck weeks and months. And sometimes it's hard as fuck years, man. And the job, and it's just like that. And that's not what's going to get you through. You become a police officer because you have this calling, you have this like pressure in your stomach, this feeling in your chest, and you've always been drawn to it. Maybe when you were younger, it used to scare the fuck out of you. Nobody wants to like get arrested, and nobody wants to like deal with all that. But you've always kind of had this inclining. You're like, oh, I would really love to be a cop. I'd really love to do that thing, because you want to be a role model, because you want to help people, because you actually genuinely give a shit about society and the public, and you want to get out there and you want to make a difference. And maybe the difference that you're going to make is you're going to go out there and you're going to arrest a bunch of like under the influence drivers, drunk drivers, or you're going to get out there and you're going to write so many fucking seatbelt violations that hopefully when those people go and they get into a crash, you saved a life because you were writing fucking tickets and seatbelt tickets, or maybe you're going to be really into drugs and you're going to go out there and not into drugs, like into drugs and addiction. Okay. Side note, you're going to be into drug interdiction, and you're going to go out there and you're going to stop a bunch of traffickers, and you're going to do the best that you can to stop the drugs coming into the state that's like killing all of our kids, killing all of our people who, just get severely addicted, and it's causing a big problem. I mean, maybe that's how you're going to go when you're going to change lives. But whatever the reason is for you that you become a police officer, you cannot lose sight of that. You've got to know your why, and you've got to hold on to it through everything. Through prepping for the fucking PT test, because that's going to suck, especially if you're out of shape. I recently have to tell you about something that I did, is I actually ran 2 miles for the first time this week since I've hurt my back. And it felt fucking amazing. I still like didn't believe like my app. So I got in my car and I drove, because like I have this app called Sports Tracker. It's free. You can download it right on your phone. And it'll tell you like your pace and how fast you went, by tracking your phone. I didn't fucking believe it. So I got in my car and I drove it. I'm like, fuck, I really did run 2 miles. This is crazy shit. It's the first time I've done that, since I've been injured. And like, that's a really big thing for me. And like, running sucks. And you've got to have like that mindset of like, when those days suck, and like when you're going through shit, you gotta have that mindset. Like, you've gotta have it. Like, I'm doing this for a reason that is far bigger than me. Because if you're doing it for selfish reasons, when you don't get into that agency, or when you fail that PT test, or you fail that oral board, or something fucking happens, you're going to quit. You're going to become negative. The job is going to take you over. You're going to end up being a statistic. And honestly, Sheepdog Nation, that's why I'm doing this. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here for you, because I'm sick and tired of the statistics. We need no more statistics. We need you all. We need us as a nation to come together to support one another, and we need to survive. Okay? But just to go, and I want to double back around to the original question, how do you become a cop? Like, how do you do it? That's how you do it. Now, here's the deal. We also need to start policing ourselves again. Okay. I know that social media is a big deal, and I'm not saying that y'all shouldn't be on social media, and you shouldn't be out there like being really positive, toward, law enforcement, like really creating like a good community policing feel. I think that's wonderful. But as a cop, you need to be very careful. You need to be careful what you're posting on all of your social media, on duty and off duty, but specifically what you're doing while you're on duty, okay? Because that can get jammed right up your ass. But you need to be very careful about this stuff. We need to be setting ourselves up for success. That's how we not get jammed up. We're not under the fucking sergeant's desk all the goddamn time. We're actually doing work, and we get promoted based off merit, not just fucking whose ass we can kiss the best, right? Like, we need to get back to that. And we really need to instill that in our younger sheepdogs coming up. And like, we as veteran sheepdogs, older sheepdogs, like we really need to take a stand and really become that role model for sheepdogs. And listen, I know if you're sitting here and you're listening to me and you're a veteran, you're probably a little bit bitter, right? Because we've all been there. We've all gotten fucked over. We have all gotten, passed up for a promotion because assholes spends more time under whoever's desk than, you do. And so how can you get passed up? Like, I get it. Politics are everywhere. And that's something that it's a hard reality, but here's the deal. Like, there's politics everywhere, whether you're at your agency where the politics are, or in the next agency, there's going to be politics. May not be that bad, or may not be as bad as what you're going through now, but there'll be some pro and some con of every single agency. It's just the way that it is, And so you've really got to get your mind right over that. And that's why it's important to, to focus on the reasons and be clear as to why you got into the job in the first place. And I really want that to set in with you, especially if you're listening to me and you've been on the road for any amount of time. Like, are you clear with why you are on the job? Are you clear with why you are a police officer? Because that's what's going to get you through, my friend. It's not, it's nothing else. It's not nothing else. Your why, because your why goes back to your mindset. And your mindset's what's going to get you through. Okay? And, it's what's going to keep you strong. And it's what's going to keep you being the leader that you are, or the leader that you're becoming by stepping into this position as being, a police officer. There's no other job. There's no other career out there like this. But you have got to, you got to be clear on why you're here. You got to watch yourself on social media. You got to be very, you've got to operate within your agency's SOPs. Don't fucking get out of that. Don't, if you're not allowed to take gratuities, stop fucking taking gratuities, man. Have I been there? Have I done that? Have I accepted the free coffee? Yeah. My agency frowned upon it. And I got to tell you, that's an easy way to get jammed up over stupid fucking shit. And just understand, if you do enough stupid fucking shit, you will get jammed up and you'll get canned and you'll get a reputation. Okay? That's, that's a lot of it. Like, that's a lot of it right there. I'm not going to say that there's not special circumstances. Of course, there's like weird fucking situations that happen and attorneys that are out to fuck someone over and something weird happens. Like, yeah, I know there's weird situations that happen to everybody. But for the most part, what I'm saying is really a blanket statement. It's going to cover a lot of people in a lot of different situations. Listen to what I'm telling you. Know your why. Stick to your agency's standard operating procedures. Do the right thing, trust your instincts, and you'll be fine. You'll survive. Okay? And that's why you become a police officer. And that's how you survive this job. That's really all I have for you today. I feel very passionate about what I said. If you need help, if you need anything, I want you to reach out to me. I do offer one-on-one mentoring, oral board prep, or life coaching specifically for Sheepdog Nation. So if that's something that you want to do, there's nobody else out there doing it. The life coaching for a blue line. Reach out to me, DM me on Instagram at the Lady Sheepdog. Or if you're a female who is looking to become a police officer, or you are a police officer, get your ass into the Lady Sheepdog Club. It's free to sign up, and then it's $27 a month. It is the only community like its kind in the country. I haven't found anything like that. It's hundreds of hours of training plus support like you've never encountered before. Women who understand you, a leader who's been there, done that, walked in your shoes, have created trainings for you, who's always there for you. You have no excuse. Get your ass in there. It's going to make going through the hiring process and being in the job 100% easier. Okay? All right. I'm going to talk to you later, Sheepdog Nation.